Hey everybody, how's it going? Not the best lighting in the world, but it's what I got. And showing you, I should say, a little update on what I've painted. I'm still working on a Space Marine model, but it's not a Blood Raven. So, as of now, the Blood Ravens that I was working on are done. So whatever I was working on is what you see here. This is the first one that I've shown you already, the test model, and I gave him some buddies. So, I'll start off with the less cool one. This is from the same Tactical Marine kit, and I fully Mark 6ified this guy. He's got the same chest armor as this guy does, but I went and fully Mark 6 this guy with the shoulder pad and the helmet and all that. I also took this flat shoulder pad in terms of having no trim on it to kind of go with the studded shoulder pad because it doesn't have any trim either. So I think he came out pretty well. I did a little bit of the weathering on his armor as well, down by the legs, and a little bit on the shoulder pad. Maybe he shoulder checked a wall to make his own door. Who knows? But one thing I will say, the Weathering Master stuff in Tamiya, they show it in their Japanese instruction, which I can't read. Right here, actually, they show it on tanks, on one of their probably World War II tanks, and on that, on something big and flat like that, and with hard angles, it may work better. But on a model like this, weathering powder is definitely superior in my opinion. One for kind of a rubble or urban theme basing in terms of the color, and I think it helps make the red armor pop. But what I did here, and this is a little thing you can keep in mind for yourself if you're gonna have one shoulder pad be able to accept the transfer, or if you're gonna be skilled and free-handed, instead of doing the squad symbol, do the chapter symbol, because while it's not going to be a deal come into play for this guy, if you think about it, as you're collecting Marines and stuff, you may get more Bolter Marines than you need for a tactical squad or whatever. You may end up having more than you need in that regard, which is fine. But because this guy doesn't have a squad symbol on him, he can be utilized not just in a tactical squad, he can be in a Devastator squad, he could even go in a command squad, and while he's not very ornate, he could fit in a Sternguard squad as well to help bulk it out. So it kind of makes him a bit more utilitarian in use without putting the squad symbol on him. But anyways, I think he came out pretty well. Same scheme and setup of the test model, and overall I like his appearance. I think it works very well. Now the second guy, who's a lot more gold, is my take on a Force Commander, taking very much stuff from Dawn of War 1 and 2 in terms of how I would paint him up. Now, I gave him a back banner. It says Apollo on it. This is my take on Apollo Diomedes. He's got the chapter symbol on his back banner, commander kit and back banner, and the rest is Sternguard. You can see he's got a sword and a plasma pistol, and I did that in the green for the purity seals. But I did the sword and plasma pistol because number one, just taking from the Dawn of War series, you can equip your Force Commander basically however you want in the campaign. Not quite so, but pretty close. So you could, in theory, have this type of combination that way. We don't have an official set war gear loadout for Apollo Diomedes. For those of you saying, he's dead, or he's this, or he's that, or he's not serving the chapter in the same way, that doesn't mean he's still not serving the chapter, and he can still be a Force Commander. I like to view it, and I believe the canon is the Blood Angel story of Retribution. So, not Blood Angels, Blood Ravens. There I go again, screwing up chapter names. But the Blood Ravens story is the canon story, and I could be incorrect, but I like to think that it feels that way when you play all those campaigns. It feels like the Blood Ravens 1 is the canon. But anyway, the other reason I fielded him with this war gear is because I could use him as a generic HQ, or I can do a counts as HQ for a special character. And he's got the same war gear loadout as Captain Sicarius. When I used to have a pre-Heresy Thousand Suns army, I ran two HQs, and they were both counts as for Ultramarine characters. One was Tigerius, the other was Sicarius. And it worked pretty well for me. I like his overall rule set and his war gear setup. So I figured, you know what, why not? That can work well for a Blood Ravens Force Commander representation. Overall, I like how this model came out. I went with the gold helmet because that's the Veteran of Astos or whatever look. It's not even DLC. It was something when Retribution first came out. Steam had its summer sale. You can get enough tickets to unlock the Veterans of Astos stuff and get it for Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Completely worthless, only for multiplayer. But it gives you Force Commander, and all it does is give your Force Commander a gold helmet. So I decided to go with that here. And then, goldify him, kind of like the Force Commander look that we know from the Dawn of War series. The belt buckle thing here, or whatever you want to call that, is gold because I forgot to paint it up in red. So I made it gold instead of going back and doing it in red. But other than that, I'm really pleased with how the model turned out. The gold came out fantastically. Again, this is not the first time I used this or talked about it, but the Vallejo's liquid metal range, in this case liquid gold, is phenomenal. It's an alcohol-based paint, so what you need is rubbing alcohol of at the very least 91%, and really that's not high enough. That's what I'm using, that's all I could find. But if you can get 93% or higher, that's where you want to be. That's what you need to clean your brush off and thin the paint, or make the paint less chunky and turn it back into paint again. Is isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, sometimes called white spirit. That's what you need for any alcohol-based paint. But I think the gold speaks for itself of how gold it is, which sounds dumb, but it's the best way you can describe it. I left the neck eagle, because it's not really on the chest anymore. I left that black with some gray highlighting on there because if I did that gold with the gold helmet with the gold shoulder pads, it would be a bit much for me. But really pleased with how this model turned out. He's a good HQ model. Definitely stands out on the battlefield. He's only standing next to two guys here, but they definitely stand out in terms of next to those guys. So, anyways, that's the progress I've made. I don't have much time to paint, but when I do, it with the Blood Raven stuff, it actually goes pretty quick. It didn't take too long to do this guy, and part of that is the alcohol-based paint, the liquid gold, covers so quickly and easily. Anyways, those are my models of Blood Ravens here. Probably more to come in the future, but not yet. I'm working on a different Space Marine, like I said, and then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I have some ideas and some plans, but we'll see. Just wanted to share this with you guys, so thanks for watching, and until next time, take it easy.